Quake has a brand new Horde mode, in which I covered this news in a separate video. However, I recently got the Quake Remaster and started playing the mode for myself. Right off the bat, Nightdive did a pretty good job with this new Quake release. I'm definitely not a Quake expert or anything, so I can't really pick out tiny details that may or may not be wrong with the remaster, but from everything that I've heard, as well as from my own experience, it is faithful to the original game. You've got all the expansions, which is nice because they are massively underrated, especially Scourge of Armagon. I'm looking forward to playing them again and possibly making updated reviews at some point. Nightdive also included the Machine Games Dimension of the Past expansion that released a few years ago, and I don't think I've actually played it, so that will be fun to do. There's yet another Machine Games expansion that has been added exclusively to this remaster, and from what I've seen so far, it looks very ambitious, but we'll see. You know how the Doom 1 and 2 ports have Final Doom and Sigil as quote official add-ons? Yeah, well Quake has these same add-on components, and the first one that they put up was a port of Quake 64. Instead of being an entirely separate game like Doom 64 was, Quake 64 aimed to port the original game over, but they had to remove some of the levels and adjust some of the geometry and monster placement to compensate for the limitations of the system. All of the levels are played sequentially as well, so there's no option to select which episode you want to play. That being said, Quake 64 featured unique colored lighting and a new soundtrack composed by Aubrey Hodges, the same guy who made the Doom 64 music. Quake 64 might not be your favorite way to experience Quake, but it's great that Nightdive went above and beyond and put it into the remaster. I'm sure Quake 64 wasn't that difficult to throw in as a bonus. I mean, the game is pretty similar to the original PC version, but it's the thought that counts here. If they put the Sega Saturn version of Quake into the remaster next, then this will be the ultimate Quake 1 collection. As for Quake's new Horde mode, it's fun, and if you have friends, I can see this being a very addicting game mode to play. Horde mode in Quake is set up more like a standard survival mode, as opposed to Doom Eternal where its Horde mode has a lot more structure to it. Quake has 4 maps designed specifically for Horde mode to choose from, but each of them have the same overall weapon placements. All of the levels have the nail guns, the grenade and rocket launcher, and the thunderbolts, as well as plenty of ammo to keep you stocked up. I don't really have a preference between each of the stages, but all of them look nice regardless. I guess if I had to choose a favorite, it would be Tower of the Apprentice. I do like how each of the levels have specific placements for the weapons, ammo, health and armor that respawn over time. This allows players to memorize the item placements, and when they start to get better at the mode, knowing where they need to look for the right item they need will become second nature. There are 9 waves you have to complete to unlock the gold exit key, but if you and your friends want to, you can slug it out with the monsters for as long as you can. This is a great system, in theory, but I wish that there was some incentive for going into the exit, since it just feels like a quit the game portal at the moment. Maybe if you go into the portal, the map switches out to another one and you reset from wave 1 again. If you get all the way up to the final wave or the final level, you get some sort of ending screen or additional boss fights. However, if you decide to continue playing the initial map you are on, the subsequent waves become much more intense compared to if you go into the next map and start again from wave 1. If Horde mode was set up like this, it would satisfy players that want a goal to aim for, like how it's set up in Doom Eternal's Horde mode, and it would also be good for players who just want a typical survival mode, with each wave getting harder and harder until it becomes insane. It would allow players to choose what they want to do, and that would offer up so much replayability. I do like how you obtain silver keys after every 3rd wave, and they allow you to unlock more weapons and items. This encourages players to learn the level layouts, and I would love to see more of these silver keys and doors for people that push on past the 9th wave. This Horde mode for Quake is a good proof of concept, but more can be done to flesh out the game mode. I can definitely see myself getting addicted to it though, because when you see the kill counts at the end of a game, it makes you want to try again straight away. I'd love to see more maps as well, but the variety we have so far is pretty nice. We'll see what happens with the Quake Remaster updates in general, but Nightdive has done a fairly good job with this mode specifically. I see a lot of potential with Horde Mode, but more needs to be done with its overall structure as I've laid out already. Also, it feels like some of the waves start before I even clear out all of the monsters on screen, which is an interesting design choice, but I'm still wondering if it's intentional. Either way, what do you think about Quake's Horde Mode and how does it stack up to Doom Eternal's Horde Mode? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll see you next time.